everybody. Welcome to the fastest way to rebuild higher profits and get more customers for life. All right. I am Captain Jim Palmer, the Dream Business Coach. You probably know that. I'm coming to you from our floating home here currently on the Chesapeake Bay as I'm doing this. And this training program, I really believe, has the potential to be a real game changer in the way you look at business and the way you grow your business. I think the vast majority of businesses today have kind of, what do I call it, a knee-jerk reaction, almost like an instinct you're born with. When you want to increase revenue or boost profits, you say, let's go out and get more new customers. I need more new customers, more new clients, more new patients, etc. And this is a very common strategy, obviously known as customer acquisition. After tonight, I'm hoping that if you take my advice, and be very smart to do that, and switch some of your marketing efforts and some of your marketing dollars to a more proactive and automated customer retention approach to business growth, I think you're going to be very, very happy that you attended tonight, and you're going to probably thank me profusely, which won't be necessary, but that'll be nice, all right? As with most kinds of marketing that actually work, not the kind you see every day on Facebook and other places, this strategy of customer retention is not a quick fix. Well, Jim, why not? Well, listen, right off the bat, if you start using and implementing what I'm going to teach you tonight, it's not going to produce a huge hit of cash. Instead, this powerful strategy known as customer retention, it's really like a flywheel, or you go back to your elementary school days and remember the old merry-go-round. It takes a little bit of effort to get it going and momentum. Then you get the thing spinning, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to keep it going, right? Especially if you automate it. One of the things that kills this strategy is that once it's up and running and producing results, which it will, many entrepreneurs will back off the accelerator and they'll begin to coast because life is good, business is good, money's coming in. We think less of needing growth and how do we handle the new day-to-day business we have, and we think less of what if it turns off. But eventually it always turns off. We always go through peaks and valleys. And then you say to yourself, oh crap, we haven't focused on the retention program. Let's get that thing ramped back up again. Don't do this. Several years ago, when I created No Hassle newsletters, in I think 2007 or early 2008, my average customer, when they came on and joined the program, stayed with me for 6 months. 6 months. I was really not happy with that result at all. So I put into place a proactive and quite robust retention strategy. And within 2 years, the average customer who came to No Hassle newsletter stayed with me for 38 months, right? The retention-based program that I created had 4 steps to it, but they were all designed to enhance and further develop the relationship that I had with my customers and get them to stay with me longer. Friends, this is what I want you to know. Customers who stay connected with you longer end up spending more and referring more. Boom, that's revenue, that's profits, that's sales, everything. That is the fastest way to boost your profits. Now, financially speaking, I'll be open with you. I'll share that my retention-based marketing strategy cost me $38.11. For every new customer that joined No Hassle newsletters, I would invest $38.11 in this 4-part strategy. Now you think, well, that's a lot of money, Jim. God, I got hundreds of customers or thousands. It is a lot of money if you don't get a return on the investment. That's the difference in what good marketing is, right? Am I right? So listen, my No Hassle newsletter program, one of the programs is $197 a month. So when a customer stayed for 6 months, every new customer I got, I knew back then was worth $1,182. That's the lifetime value of a customer that stayed with me for 6 months. I see somebody sign up for $197. Oh, that's another $1,200 coming to me over the next 6 months. Not too shabby, you might think, but now here's the difference. My average No Hassle newsletter customer stays with me for 38 months. The lifetime value is now $7,486 per customer. That, my friends, is a positive swing of $6,304 per customer. Holy crap. So if you thought that $38.11 is a lot to put into every new customer that comes your way, I want you to think of it like this. Would I trade $38.11 for $6,304? I think so. Honestly, if you don't believe that, if you're not encouraged, then, go watch an I Love Lucy rerun, because you're not going to like what else I have to say. That right there is exactly what happened to me. And if you follow some of the things I'm going to suggest to you, that could happen to you also. You take your current customers, you increase the relationship value, they spend more, they stay longer, they refer more. That's what's going to happen. The cost of acquiring a customer is the most expensive part of growing a business, hands down. So my question is this: why would you not want to maximize the profitability of each and every customer that you have right now, instead of constantly chasing more new prospects to develop and nurture a relationship with? Here's what's going to happen. So throughout this training, here's what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you, number one, the profitable growth strategy of customer retention, which I've just, sort of teased you with. I'm going to share with you exactly why a customer newsletter is such a powerful customer retention and profit producing tool. Number three, I'm going to share with you the secrets of producing a customer newsletter that will boost your profits. I'm going to share with you an actual newsletter that brought in $400,000 in new revenue, one monthly newsletter after it got passed around. I'll show you that newsletter. We're going to talk about the big debate, email versus print. I give this talk. I've given it so many times over the years. People go, oh, Jim, I love the newsletter concept. I think I'll just send an email newsletter. That way I don't have to pay for paper and postage. We're going to talk about that in a big way. No holds barred here tonight, all right? Number whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A quick and easy solution to getting your monthly newsletter done and out the door in 27 minutes or less. All right. Most of the training I'm going to give you tonight, if you want to dive in a little bit deeper, it's going to come from 3 of my 7 books, which have all done very well. Number 1, obviously, The Magic of Newsletter Marketing. Number 2, this is my second book by far and away. I think it's my most popular. I've actually never looked at all the numbers, but me sold a crap ton of these books. Stick Like Glue, How to Create an Everlasting Bond with Your Customers so they stay longer, spend more, and refer more. And then the third book I pulled some content from is The Fastest Way to Higher Profits, 19 immediate profit-enhancing strategies you can use today. Why would you listen to me? Now, I think I get an idea. Most of the people know who I am, but if you're new, let me adjust this down. If you're new to me, first of all, I created my first newsletter business in 2001 called Dynamic Communication. I did very, very well, grew that in 5 years to about $300,000 in business. I then created No Hassle Newsletters in 2007. I've had over 1,200 small business owners subscribe to this service in 9 different countries. I also created a program, a sister program called the Newsletter Guru's Concierge Print Mail on Demand. I was known for many, many years as the newsletter guru, saving small business one newsletter at a time. And I actually spoke many, many places around this country. I spoke probably 32 times in about 12 or 13 months. Why you should listen to me as an entrepreneur? Well, I've grown many, many successful 6-figure businesses and a couple multiple 6-figure businesses. I'm not going to name them all here. I want to go really, really fast. I've been running a mastermind group, one of the most popular mastermind groups, Jim Palmer's Dream Business Mastermind and Coaching Programs, for 11 years. I also founded Success Advantage Publishing. If you want to sell more of your goods and services, I mean, that's why we're here, right? You could create new funnels, campaigns, and promotions. You could spend buku bucks to build a new list that you could market to and develop the know, like, and trust factor so you could then maybe start to sell them something. You could wait patiently, again, to get the know, like, and trust factor with your new connections before you try and take that relationship to the next level. Or you could turn to the people. Again, if you want to sell more of your goods and services, you could turn to the people that have already identified themselves as buyers. Me, I'm a buyer, right? It's your current customers and your past customers. That's what this is about. Let me give you a few profit facts. We're going to go really fast. Profit facts. Number 1, retention is the new acquisition. Number 2, customers, clients, and patients that stay longer end up spending more and referring more. Higher profits are the direct result of healthy, strong relationships that you have with your customers, clients, and patients. So the bottom line is, again, I'm repeating myself for emphasis. If you want to sell more of your goods and services, whatever business you have, the first people you turn to are the people who have already identified themselves as buyers. That is your current and, again, your past customers, clients, and patients. I wrote about, in my book, Stick Like Glue, I wrote about something I called the leaky bucket theory. So every business, whether you're new or you're got a good sized business, you could even be a major conglomerate. Every business is like a bucket, and that bucket has water in it. Like you go down to the stream and you bring your bucket of water, right? So every business is that bucket of water. Now, every business, no matter how good it is, it leaks to one degree or another. Some of the best run businesses in the world, like Disney, Zappos, right? Amazon's pretty darn good. They may have a little leak around the seam, maybe a pinhole or whatever, but every business leaks to one degree or another. Most businesses, especially small businesses where the owner's like chief cook and bottle washer doing everything, has holes in their bucket. Now the water represents your customers. As you got holes in your bucket, those are customers that are pouring out. Now that's just a visual I came up with. The water that's pouring out of your bucket represents lost customers. Now, what do you got to do? If you don't replace the water in the bucket that's pouring out of the different holes in the bucket, you are going to go broke. You're going to go out of business. So you constantly put in more water in the top. That's known as customer acquisition. All right, here's a couple things about the leaky bucket. Each 1% increase in customer retention, meaning how many holes can I fill in my bucket, that translates to a 7% increase in profit. It costs at least 5 times more to obtain new customers than it does to retain and therefore resell to customers you already have. Next, businesses that are gaining market share the fastest are doing so by plugging the holes in their system. What do I got to do, adjust, fix, compensate for to get my customers to stay longer? You know, I didn't just jump from 6 months to 38 months. I jumped from 6 months to 9 months, 12 months. When I hit 12 months, I actually created a program called Double My Retention because I actually doubled the time that my average customer stays. Now it's like 38 months. I should probably do another home study course. But every time I would plug another hole where I saw that there was something wrong with that program, not the program itself, but helping people get started. I'm not going to go into the things I did. That'd be another training. But when I plug those holes, my gosh, my customers are staying longer until, like I said, a couple of years later, my customers were staying 38 months. That is a game changer, folks. Why does chasing new customers all the time never work? Well, I don't know if you remember, there was a movie, I think it was called The Tin Men. That's Danny DeVito. They were selling aluminum siding like in Baltimore in the 60s or something like that. So just to give a reference, every time they're on the phone and they made a sale, they went and they rang a bell, like a real bell in the office. Hey, just made a sale. And then what did they do? This is why I wanted to illustrate this. They went and they started dialing for dollars. I made a sale. What do you do next? Let's go get another one. I think you as a small business owner, when you get that customer, you want to maximize the profitability of each and every customer. Dan Kennedy has a saying that says, many, many businesses will get a customer to make a sale. Smart business owners make a sale to get a customer, because once you have a customer, you maximize the profitability. So it's a slight little play on words, but it's really, really important. So let's say you have an initial sale. Now your prices, your cost of goods may be different. Just go with me for this example. Your initial sale with a customer is $100. Your cost of goods, so you're selling a product, not a service, is $50. You got $20 in marketing, all that acquisition marketing you're doing. And then we'll count in $20 in salaries, utilities, all the stuff that's a part of the business that's necessary to acquire a customer, okay? So at that point, you make a $10 net profit. Now, if you make a second sale with that same customer, $100, $50 cost of goods, far less marketing. In fact, for $2, I'm using as this example, you could be sending them a newsletter or something else, postcard or any other thing you're doing to keep that relationship alive, to keep your business at the top of mind. And the profit is $48. So what does that look like? Your second sale is almost 5 times more profitable than the first sale. Pretty exciting, right? So one business gets 10 new customers and they make $100. 10 customers $10 net profit, 10 times 10 is 100. The other business gets one new customer and makes 9 repeat sales. They make $442. That's an amazing, amazing difference, okay? Folks, here's a picture. I should have warned you not to be eating because you probably spit all over your monitor, but I wrote my first newsletter when I was 21 years old. I was running a bicycle store, and this was during the Carter recession. There was double-digit interest rates. Unemployment was out the wazoo. Gas lines. The Iranian crisis was back then. There's no marketing per se, but part of my compensation as the manager of that business was I was earning a percentage of the profits. So what I did, there was no money. We were doing roughly about $280,000 to $300,000 if my memory is correct. That's a long time ago, trust me. And God, that's 40 years ago. Holy crap. Anyway, so I said, we can't buy radio. You know, back then there was this thing called Yellow Pages. There was other things. I couldn't afford TV. But I said, we have a mailing list of about 1,200 people that have purchased things from our store. I'm going to write a newsletter. Now, this is before the Macintosh, anything. I typed out on a piece of paper and then typed out page 2. It was 2-page, black and white, ugly. I cut out pictures of items that we sold from our vendor catalogs, pasted them on the thing. I used whiteout and slammed it on the glass. It was the most horrible looking thing. So I mailed that newsletter. My newsletter was designed to reach out to the customers and basically say this: hi, we're still here. We're ready to serve you. And oh boy, we've got some cool things that you need to know about. Now, back then in 1980, 79 or 80, padded bicycle shorts, which are quite commonplace today, they were all the rage. All right, I'm going to warn you one more picture here. So this was me. I'm actually 23 or 24 years old. There I am in my bike shorts. It's actually my father-in-law. That's my son, Nick, who's 38 today. Good Lord. Anyway, so I sent out this newsletter, and I was telling people about these padded bike shorts. The headline, I think, was how to ride 3 hours instead of 30 minutes without a sore butt. I had no idea I was pretty good at marketing. I just did what came naturally to me, right? So I want to share with you a couple reasons why the first newsletter I did was so successful and why it absolutely revolutionized that business, okay? This is a true story. So why my first newsletter was so successful. Number one, I wrote it in a conversational tone. I didn't know any better. I mean, I didn't know who Dan Kennedy was. Dan's only 4 years older than me, I think. So I didn't know who he was. I just thought, you know what? I may have even heard an expression, a printed letter or anything printed is a conversation in print. Now, I knew that when customers came in our store, myself and the 4 other guys that worked there, we did pretty good. We just were bikers and cyclists, and we were teaching people about things that we did, and they were, oh, it's pretty cool. We didn't really sell. We were telling so many things I know today that we were doing. I had no idea what we were doing, but I just wrote it in a conversational tone. Number two, I mailed it to all, I think we had about 1,200 names in our mailing list at the time. Very, very powerful. Number three, a newsletter can be a prospecting tool. I'm going to show you how to do that. In other words, if you have an avatar, I know what avatar is today. I didn't know when I was 21. But if you have an avatar and you say, well, we sell a lot of bikes to people who say are within 5 miles of our store, have an average income of 50 grand. I don't know, all the things that make up an avatar. You can now rent a list and say, I want to send to all the people that are in 5 miles of my store that have 2.3 kids, that own a home, blah, blah, blah. And we start sending them newsletter, and it worked. So that's the short version of that. I got to keep going. So next, nugget number 4, frequency matters. When I mailed that first newsletter, again, I had no idea what nostalgia was. If I had that newsletter today, I'd hold it up and it'd be a big piece of crap. But it worked. We sent out 1,200 newsletters. People started walking in the store. Hey, good to see you guys. Hey, you know what? What is the secret to riding 3 hours instead of 30 minutes without a sore butt? Because those bike seats, those little 10-speed bike seats, those things are painful as hell, right? So anyway, that's what's, and every time someone came into the bike shop and said anything like they're either holding the newsletter, somebody gave it to them, or they said, yeah, I got your pamphlet. Newsletter. I was say, hey, great, let me show you some stuff. But inside I was going, holy crap, it works, right? So what does a good marketer do when he learns something that works? Try something and it works. I did it again. I started the next month, I mailed another one and another one and another one. And next thing you know, unbeknownst to me with any formal training, I had created a monthly newsletter for the business. And the evidence, see, we started selling clothing because we were cyclists. When we started my newsletter business at the bike shop, we had one of those round racks. It had maybe, I don't know, a few shorts, a few jerseys. It was nothing. We sold in a year about $10,000 worth of clothing, shoes, those, hard-soled shoes. In about a year's time, mostly thanks to the newsletter, we were selling $100,000 in clothing. It was huge. And I'm telling you, it was the newsletter that did it. Now, you may say, well, Jim, that's, some inexpensive things. I want to give you what I'm going to call high dollar proof. When I left this business, I went to work for a franchise, and we took a chain of 14 stores. Actually, they were competitors of mine. We went and from 14 stores to 80 stores in 18 states. It was called Bike Line. And when I went to work for Bike Line, I said, we got to create a newsletter. I mean, I was hooked on newsletters. And so we created a newsletter for the different stores. And every time somebody would come in that was interested in investing $150,000 for a franchise, that's what it cost to buy the franchise, to outfit the store, to fill it with merchandise, etc. I said, you know what? We're producing these newsletters. I'm going to put the people who come in here or talk to us about what a franchise opportunity might look like and start sending them the newsletter. Now, what happened is there was a gentleman from Pittsburgh. I remember this like it was yesterday. He came in, and he was very interested. We thought he was going to be like our third store in Pittsburgh. And for some reason, he just disappeared. Well, sometimes that happens, right? Maybe the spouse said, no, you're not investing. Maybe he got cold feet, whatever. Well, anyway, about 6 months later, he called our business and said, I'm ready to go. Now, when he came in for training, we had a 2-week training program. I got to keep this short. But I asked him, I said, Ted, I'm just curious. I know you came in like last September, and then we were all hot to trot, like we found you a site, and then you disappeared. Now you're ready to go. First of all, congratulations, welcome aboard. What changed? He goes, well, Jim, I wasn't quite sure because, you're kind of a new franchise, but I've been getting your newsletter every month. Now, folks, on this newsletter that I created, I had a little, what I called the scorecard. It was in the bottom right-hand corner of page 1. It said total company stores, total franchise stores, stores in progress, total stores. He goes, every month that was growing because we were opening more stores. And he goes, after about 6 months of seeing that scorecard go up, I finally decided, okay, I trust you enough. I am ready to invest in a Bike Line franchise. So the big takeaway, what I got from that is whether you're selling a $20 pair of bike shorts or a $150,000 franchise, a friendly customer newsletter is an awesome and very highly effective marketing tool. You should all get started doing a newsletter today. I want to share with you why newsletter marketing works. The way I'm going to do that, I'm going to give you 4 points. I'm going to back it up with the lesson of why that works, and then I'm going to tie it into a testimonial. I literally have had hundreds of testimonials from our clients. So point number 1, most people read a newsletter with their guard down. In other words, people are conditioned to be less resistant to reading information such as articles than they are advertising. If you're reading an advertising advertisement or a brochure or something else, your guard goes up a little bit because it feels like it was written by a marketing department, right? Well, a newsletter, if it's done properly, that's the big caveat, it reads like a periodical. All right? So the lesson is keep it fun, keep it informative, and they'll keep looking forward to reading it. And if they do that, you are going to stay top of mind. One of my clients, Dr. Brian Berg, I've had so many comments from our patients. They love to read our newsletter. In fact, if we're late sending it to them, they call our office and they're looking for it. Point number 2, they have a longer shelf life and a pass-along factor. Printed newsletters do not get thrown out. They get passed around, increasing readership and name recognition. I can't tell you. I used to have clients. I had one client that was in the lawn cutting business, HVAC dealers, and they would tell me, somebody would say, hey, I know you had somebody servicing your heat and air conditioner. Who was that? Oh, I don't know. Just a minute. And he'd give them the newsletter. It gets passed around, right? It increases name brand recognition. One of the testimonials, Mary Beth Yanessa, we featured an article on our Blaze 2 shield insulation. Somehow, an architect in Hawaii, Mary Beth used to be in Pennsylvania, she received a copy and we run a huge new contract. I'll tell you more about that later. Point number 3, A printed friendly customer newsletter will enhance your reputation as an industry expert. All right. Here's the lesson. You want to mail your newsletters to customers and prospects and be seen as the go-to authority in your niche. Jim Edholm from BBI Benefits. He's up in Boston, actually. A prospect that had chosen a competitor last year called to discuss my services, and his new business is worth $40,000 per year. Had it not been for our monthly newsletter, they would have forgotten about me. I want to expand on that. I spoke in Boston. Jim signed up for No Hassle newsletters. He was mailing this guy. He reached out to me and said, hey, Jim, I just had a client leave us for a less expensive competitor. And he goes, should I remove him from my database? I said, no. I said, you keep mailing them. I bet, the rule is you mail them until they buy, until they die, or until they ask to politely be removed from the mailing list. Because I said, many, many people will come back. If a customer leaves your business for any reason, it sometimes feels awkward to come back for them, even if they want to. So I said, the newsletter's a way to say, hey, I'm staying in touch with you. And it worked for Jim. It was worth $40,000. He was so glad he asked me that. All right, the next point, newsletters will dramatically increase client retention. The lesson is there's nothing better, again, for developing stronger, more profitable relationships than a monthly printed newsletter. This is from Joseph Brandenburg. He is a bodybuilder and he's a personal trainer. He said our monthly No Hassle newsletter is a huge part of our customer retention rates. They are 50% higher than industry average. If you're not sending out a monthly print newsletter, stop being so lazy and cheap and get that done. He's a no holds barred kind of guy. I want to share with you now, because I'm sure I've piqued your interest. Well, Jim, how do I create a newsletter? I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to give you 4 secrets. There's about 12. If you want to read more, go get my book, The Magic of Newsletter Marketing. I'm going to share with you 4 secrets to a great newsletter. Here we go. Number 1, tell your customers what else. You want to tell your customers what else you do. Here's the interesting thing, and I'm going to give you a really down and dirty, simple way to find this out. Every customer comes to you by way of a single transaction. They get introduced to you. They see your marketing. They're referred to you. They know, like, and trust. Okay, here's some money. I'm going to get one of your products or services. That's the initial transaction. That's all it is. I call it, it's like the amoeba of a healthy, long, profitable business relationship. It's one transaction. And all that customer knows for the most part is you sell that one item, right? So you want to tell your customers what else you do. One of the things you can do, which will make this very visual, is you get an Excel spreadsheet and down one column, like column A, you list all of your customers. And then across, though, that would be a row. And then all across the rows, I forget which columns or rows. Then you list your customers. And all you do is a simple thing. You color the box. So if Mr. Smith had bought product A, one time he bought product C, and then you go all through this thing, visually you can see that I've got all these customers. Most of them have bought 1 or 2 of the things that I sell. I ought to be telling about all the other stuff. That's the power of what else. So every month you can write a personal success story about another customer of yours who had success using one of your products or services. That's the power of what else. Number 2, nugget number 2, it's not about you. It's not about you, okay? Don't use your newsletter to stand on your soapbox and tell people how great you are. They already did business with you. Your newsletter is about your reader. If the customer who reads your newsletter is not engaged, if they're not entertained, believe me, they're not going to read it. This is not your personal success piece. Number 3, consistency and reliability equal higher profits. You want to mail your newsletter every single month. It's a monthly newsletter for a reason. How often? Every 30 days, every month, every 4 weeks. I don't know how many more times to say it. You mail that newsletter every single month. It shows up. I can't reach it right now, but I just got a new magazine, Boat US. That thing comes pretty much the same day every single month. When I used to have a mortgage, that mortgage statement would come every month. Insurance comes every month, same day. It's like a cycle. So things that arrive on target, like repetitively, have a higher perceived value than things that arrive sporadically. Things that arrive sporadically are junk mail. You don't want to be assumed as being junk mail. Number 4, one size does not fit all. You may want to have a newsletter and change out an article or 2 and actually mail this version of the newsletter to your A list, this news version of the newsletter to your B list, okay? There's different ways you can do that. There's more of that in my book. So the big secret is newsletters can actually be a sales letter in disguise. I'm going to share with you a bonus strategy right now. Newsletters are not just for building stronger relationships with your customers. They can be a sales letter in disguise, and one of the very effective ways you can do that is to mail to prospective customers. Now, you don't want to write your newsletter salesy, right? You don't want to be oh, here's our product, our featured product of the month, or here's our sale items. Nothing like that. It's got to be fun, informative, and entertaining to read. Well, Jim, how do you actually sell? How do you actually promote a product or service? One of the ways you can do that is with a freestanding insert. So the secret strategy, freestanding inserts. This is an idea. So your newsletter, a very common size, is an 11 by 17 folded 8.5 by 11. That makes it a 4-page newsletter. Your newsletter, fun, interesting, informative, nothing that's real salesy or marketing, but a freestanding insert can ride inside for free. It doesn't increase postage. And your freestanding insert is a way that you can actually promote different things within your business. It's also something where you can say, I'm going to send this newsletter without a freestanding insert to my current customers. And for past customers, lost customers, or prospective customers, I'm going to send this newsletter with a freestanding insert. There's so many ways you can slice and dice this for big success. All right, let me talk to you about the big debate, which is email versus print. Number one, print does not have to compete with as much noise or clutter as email does. Think about that. Your email bin is littered every single day. Your mailbox at the end of your driveway or in your apartment or your house, it's not the same thing. Thanks to spammers, and most companies and individuals have some sort of spam blocking software. You know what the number one name is? Email or newsletter. Not email, excuse me, newsletter. Email addresses change far more frequently than physical addresses. 85% of people say they open, sort, and process and read selected pieces from their mail every single day. This is not true, obviously, of email. 70% of people renewing a relationship with a business that they'd ceased patronizing as a result of receiving direct mail from the business. So in other words, this is what I was talking about with Jim Edholm. Said, keep mailing them. They're going to come back. Most businesses lose a customer because of an experience that didn't go well. We'll leave it at that. You can win them back. All right, next, why is email so important? Because print has a higher perceived value than email marketing. Now, if you don't believe me, next time you have an anniversary or with your spouse or a birthday, or maybe it's your mom's birthday, send her a text message instead of a Hallmark card and see what kind of reaction you get. The worst number in any business, according to Dan Kennedy, is 1. So you don't want to have two things. So the actual answer is you want to do both. You want to mail a monthly customer print and mail paper and ink newsletter and supplement that with a weekly or bi-weekly e-zine. Now, I've given you a crash course in retention profits and how to use a monthly customer newsletter to proactively build stronger relationships with your customers, clients, and patients, and therefore sell more of your goods and services more easily. So the people who have proven themselves to be buyers, again, your customers, clients, patients. So, you know, again, when I was back in the, let's see, what would that have been? 2010 to 2012, I did a lot of traveling and speaking. And whenever I'd be sharing the seminar, pretty much like I'm sharing with you now, I didn't have to actually create too much here for tonight. People would actually say, so Jim, if newsletters are so powerful as you say they are, then why don't more companies use them? And this is a couple reality checks. So the reality check, number one, newsletters are not a quick fix. Most entrepreneurs are very impatient. I know something about that. Stephanie says I have the patience of a gnat. So if you mail out a newsletter and then you mail out a second one, and $100 bills do not come flying out of your computer or your register, people are like, no, this doesn't work. Jim just gave me a load of malarkey. So that's it. They're not a quick fix. I tell people you have to mail 3 or 4 months, maybe 5 months, and then it starts to work because you're building a relationship. People, oh, this is nice, a newsletter. Well, that's okay. Next month, hey, there's another one. That was pretty cool. After about 3 or 4, maybe 5 months, you start building a relationship with your newsletter. Number 2, you don't ask somebody to marry you on the first date. I'm telling you, the first newsletter is not going to do it. Reality check number 2, newsletters can also be difficult and time-consuming to produce, which is why most companies send their monthly newsletter, ready for this? 3 to 4 times a year. That's as most people do, and that is a recipe for disaster. When we've asked people, I used to ask a lot of people all the time, why do you mail it only 3 or 4 times a year? The top 2 reasons, it takes too long to get out your newsletter, and I'm always struggling for content. And that is the answer. And that, my friends, is how I have actually helped thousands of small business owners profit using the most powerful retention strategy known as newsletter marketing. Now, I have personally profited from newsletters for years, since I was 21. First, as when I was manager of the bike shop, we grew that business from, say, $280,000, $300,000 to $1 million, largely on the back of the newsletter. Now, as the company grew, I started doing some radio and other things, but that newsletter was the absolute thing that turned that business around. 20 years later, I started my first business creating newsletters, dynamic communication. 5 years after that, I created my first done-for-you newsletter marketing system called No Hassle Newsletters. And that's what I want to share with you now. So let me tell you about No Hassle Newsletters, because you can take what I gave you and go start your newsletter. You can read my book and actually do a better job. But if you just want to say, you know what, I'm very, very busy, I want to just benefit from Jim's program. It's a really, really cool program. I call this the best newsletter marketing program on the planet. This is a newsletter program that includes everything you need. It's completely done for you. This is what I call my platinum newsletter marketing system. Every month, as a member of No Hassle Newsletters, you get 24 pages of my famous customer-loving content. You get a 2-page and a 4-page black and white newsletter done for you. You get a 2-page and a 4-page color newsletter absolutely done for you every single month. You get a use of my custom article generator for $14. I'm going to tell you more about that. That is about a $10 or $20 discount from the normal price. I actually have my team produce an e-zine template, because I'm telling you, you should supplement your print newsletter with an e-zine. So we actually create that for you every single month. I also do interviews, and you get to listen to those, and you get a transcript and an MP3 of what I call my Interview the Experts coaching call. You get discounts on our printing service, the Newsletter Gurus Concierge Print and Mail. I give you discounts every single month to use that service. You get full access to the archives. I've been producing No Hassle Newsletters since 2007. There are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of content. As a member, as long as you're a current member, you are welcome to go back and use all of that. Well, do I have to use it for newsletter? No. If you're a current paying member, you can go back and look at those articles. That would be a great article for my blog. Boom, you can use it. It's an amazing resource. I have my designers do custom mastheads all the time, regularly $300. As a member of the Platinum Newsletter Marketing System, you can do that for $150. We also have industry-specific newsletters that you can use absolutely free. I'll show you those. Real quick, this is our 2-page black and white newsletter. It's called In Touch. You can see it's completely done for you, filled in with the articles. Every month we do an assortment of articles. This right here, if you can see my mouse, this is where your picture goes. This is your from the desk of. So this is where you can talk a little bit about your business. If you choose the 4-page option, this is the inside spread. I have it here, a little box about our company. You can put a few things here, and this is some testimonials. Other than that, the whole thing's filled in, ready to go. Our color newsletter is called FYI, kind of the same format. It's a little bit more toward B2B. In Touch is more B2C. So we slant the articles toward the business to business with FYI. Same thing. It's a very, very good newsletter. You could absolutely send this out simply by putting your name on it. We have about a dozen industry-specific templates that you are free to use. These are just 8 of them, right? And so what we have here, this is for an accountant, residential home cleaner. This is a chiropractor, HVAC. This is residential realtor, dentist. Peace of Mind is insurance, and On Your Side is a newsletter for lawyers. So this is our FYI template, and I have my writers write a custom article every single month for each specific template. You are free to use those every single month. This is for free. These are just a handful. God, we've probably done hundreds of what I call mastheads. So you can actually switch this out. If you don't want to call your newsletter FYI or In Touch, you can switch out. We'll create a custom masthead for you. That's just a few of them. We're really, really good at that. This is the custom easing template. It is an HTML, so it's easily editable with your email marketing program. Custom Article Generate's one of my businesses, and we write professional articles, 350-word articles. Any topic you choose. If you don't want to write your lead article, we can do it for you. We run them all through Copyscape, so make sure they're not plagiarized. They're only $14 as a member of No Hassle Newsletters. If you're coming to customarticlegenerator.com and you're not a member, you will pay $34, so I give you a discount on that. So the benefits to you, let me go over some of the benefits of why you would want to be a No Hassle newsletter member. Number one, your monthly newsletter is expertly done every single month, making it both quick and easy to get it out the door and into your customers' hands, and that's what you want to do. You're going to save a ton of time, money, and aggravation every single month. It allows you to focus on what you do best. Your newsletter will absolutely bring you more repeat and referral business. Notice I didn't say, because my lawyer told me, you should say your newsletter can, might, or whatever. I'm telling you, your newsletter will. If you hang with me for 4 to 5 months, you will absolutely see a return on investment. Your newsletter is going to bring more profitable repeat and referral business. Printing and mailing is a breeze. You can do it on your own if you want. Use your own local printer. Or you can use my concierge print and mail on demand. And if you do that, you can place an order in less than 4 minutes, and I give you a discount. If you're a No Hassle Newsletter Platinum member, I believe I give you $40 discount every single month. You get a coupon every single month. The Platinum Newsletter Marketing System, let me tell you about the investment. Again, you get 24 pages, customer-loving content, 2 and 4 page black and white, 2 and 4 page color newsletter, custom article generator for only $14. You get the easing template. You get the monthly Interview the Experts coaching call. You get discounts on printing and mailing, access to the archives that I've been doing this for. If I started in 2007, gosh, that's what, 13 years? Holy smokes, there's millions of pages. You can order custom mastheads for $150, normally $300. All the industry-specific newsletter templates are produced every month. You're free to use those. Total monthly value, in other words, if you had to hire designers, writers, and put all this stuff together, it's $14.97, but the normal monthly rate for the Platinum Newsletter Marketing System is $197. I offer a program called Master Reseller. Master Reseller is a program where if you are a coach or you're a consultant in the industry, in other words, you understand this is a program that can help your clients. This is a way to add a lucrative revenue stream to your business. It's, again, perfect for coaches, consultants, virtual assistants, any guru. Basically, you take all my stuff that you're getting in the Platinum News and you can resell it as your own. All my writers, designers, everything you're getting, you can just take it and resell it to your clients for prices you choose. After you sign up as a master reseller, you get a free marketing strategy call with me. I'll help you get going with some best practices. I'll give you access to the custom article generator for $12. That's right. So if one of your clients who's buying your newsletter wants a custom article, you don't have to go write it. You just come to the custom article generator. You can order it for $12. You can sell it probably for 25 or 30, my guess. I also give you a discount on concierge print and mail on demand. It's about 8%. There's a marketing toolkit that I put together, some of the slides and stuff that I'm sharing with you now, which will help you sell your newsletter marketing program. Monthly rate is $447 for that. And again, I don't tell you what you set your own prices. But if you had just 3 clients, in other words, 3 of your clients were paying you $149 for you to produce their monthly newsletter, and all you do is you take mine stuff and sell it back. 3 clients at $149, and you are cash flow positive. I promise to show you. I want to tell you this. I promise to show you a newsletter that brought in $400,000, and this is it right here. This is actually my black and white 4-page newsletter. This person actually changed out the headline, or the masthead, called it Around the Block. They wrote an article about their spray foam. This is a company that was an insulation company, and they would actually go into old buildings which typically had no insulation. They found a way that they didn't have to tear out the walls. They could spray foam in there, and they mailed it to all their customers, and one of their customers was an architect who had a friend who was an architect in Hawaii who was just hired to rehab this building. And they were saying, hey, what do you know about insulation? He goes, oh my God, I just got a newsletter. Let me send it to you. So that's it. This, if you recognize it, that is our newsletter they use. This is the testimonial I got, which was incredible. Triton Industries has been sending out one of Jim Palmer's no hassle newsletter since July 2009. We received many compliments from our customers regarding the content Jim provides, but the greatest compliment of all was a new contract. We recently featured an article about our Blaze 2 installation at the Hershey Hotel and Restaurant, that's in Pennsylvania. Somehow an architect in Hawaii received a copy of our newsletter, contacted our offices. After several discussions, we were awarded a $400,000 contract. 3 quick points Jim says about newsletters, because she came and heard me speak. Make your newsletter fun, entertaining, and not too much about your work. It can take 6 months for your newsletter to show results. And finally, Jim says your newsletters will get passed around. I can attest that he is right on all 3 counts. Do not over-engineer this. No hassle newsletters work in any industry, all right? So as I wrap up here, I want to share this with you. Like I said earlier, I'm going to repeat myself because it's very, very important. The cost of acquiring a new customer is the most expensive part of growing a business. I urge you, instead of chasing new customers every day, I want you to switch part of your marketing and your business growth efforts to retention. That way you can maximize the profitability of each and every customer you have. Don't forget that little Excel spreadsheet I have. I occasionally will look at that and go, I've had a customer for 12 years, very loyal in this column, but they don't know anything about this. So we will actually send certain emails, or we'll do mailings and things like that. A customer who has said, I trust you and I find value in what you're selling because they're giving you money, that's a customer you want to go back to. I am convinced if you want to sell more of your goods and services, the very first people you should turn to are those people that have already committed themselves and identified themselves as buyers. I'm a buyer, because those are your current and past customers. Folks, higher profits are the result of stronger customer relationships. That doesn't happen by accident. That is you being proactive. You know, sometimes people ask me about, how to grow a business. Say, do you know what your greatest asset is? Well, blah, blah, blah. I say, it's your customer base. And if you don't stay top of mind, if you're not staying in regular and frequent communication with your customers, and I don't mean an invoice or a statement, I mean communication. If you're not staying top of mind, they're going to forget about you. They're going to think they're not important. So proactive, send them a monthly customer newsletter. I hope you send them a monthly no hassle newsletter. I hope you'll become our next big success story. I hope you enjoyed this training. If you did, shoot me an email, shoot me a message, jump on Facebook, tell me you liked it. If you didn't, that's okay too. Anyway, I'm Captain Jim Palmer, the Dream Business Coach. Hope you have an awesome evening. You take good care.